My name is Lisa. I'm 26 years old. I work in a small bookshop and I love my job. I like helping people find books they enjoy. One day a man came into the shop. He looked tired, wearing a black jacket. I saw him looking at the shelves. I smiled and said, "Hello, can I help you find something?" He looked up and said, "Yes, please. I want a book about adventures." I picked a book from the shelf and handed it to him. "This one is really good. I think you'll like it." He smiled back and said, "Thank you, Lisa." We talked for a few minutes. He was funny and kind. His name was Samuel. The next day he came back. He wanted another book. I was happy to see him again. We talked and laughed a lot. I felt happy when Samuel was around. But I didn't know something important about him. Samuel was a thief. He sometimes took things that weren't his. But he never told me. All I saw was a nice man, and I wanted to be his friend. After Samuel came back to the bookshop, we started to see each other more. He came almost every day. Sometimes after work, we would go for a walk in the park near the shop. The park was quiet and green. I liked sitting on the benches, watching the birds and talking with Samuel. He told me many stories about his life. Samuel said he loved adventure. He liked to travel and see new places. He said he wanted to be free, to live without problems. I listened carefully. His stories were interesting and made me smile. He had a way of making simple things sound exciting. One afternoon we sat by the small lake in the park. The sun was warm on our faces. Samuel looked at me with kind eyes. Then he said, "Lisa, I like you. I want to be with you." My heart started to beat fast. I was surprised but happy. I looked at him and smiled. "I like you too, Samuel," I said quietly. From that day we spent more time together. We went to the movies, ate ice cream, and sometimes just talked for hours. When Samuel was around, I felt happy and safe. I liked his company very much. But sometimes I noticed Samuel looked sad or worried. He would stop smiling and look far away, like he had something heavy on his mind. I wanted to ask him, but he never talked about his feelings. He kept some things secret. I wanted to know everything about Samuel. I wanted him to trust me, but he stayed quiet about his past and his problems. I hoped one day he would tell me the truth. Still, I was happy to be with him. Love felt new and exciting. I believe Samuel was a good man, even if he did not tell me everything. I dreamed about our future. Maybe one day we could be together forever. One night I got a phone call from Samuel. His voice sounded different. It was low and scared. I could hear the worry in his words. "Lisa, I need your help," he said quietly. I didn't ask questions. I took my coat and left the house quickly. When I arrived at Samuel's small apartment, the lights were dim. The room felt cold and quiet. Samuel was sitting on the old sofa looking down. He seemed tired and sad. He looked at me and said, "Lisa, I did something bad. I took something that was not mine." I was shocked. My heart jumped, and I didn't know what to say. "Why, Samuel? What did you take?" I asked carefully. Samuel took a deep breath. "I was hungry, and I had no money. I took some food from a store." I felt a mix of emotions. I wanted to be angry, but I also felt sorry for him. New life was hard for him. "Samuel, taking things that do not belong to you is wrong," I said softly. "But why didn't you tell me before?" He looked at me with sad eyes. "I was afraid you would leave me. I didn't want to lose you." I reached out and held his hand. "I want to help you, but you have to be honest with me. We cannot have secrets." Samuel nodded. "I want to change, Lisa. I want to be better." That night, I stayed with him. We talked for hours about his past and his fears. I saw a different side of Samuel, a man who wanted a better life but didn't know how to find it. I wanted to believe in him. I wanted to trust that he could change. but deep inside, I knew it would not be easy. After that strange night, Samuel promised me something important. He said he would stop taking things that were not his. He wanted to be honest with me from now on. For a while, things seemed better. Samuel came to the bookshop every day. We talked more than before. He told me more about his dreams and his life when he was younger. I shared my stories too. We were becoming closer. One afternoon, when Samuel left the shop, I found something in his coat pocket. It was a small bag with some things inside. When I looked closely, I saw that the things did not belong to Samuel. I felt a sharp pain in my heart. I waited for him to come back. When he did, I asked gently, "Samuel, why did you hide this from me?" He looked down and did not speak for a moment. Then he said quietly, "I wanted to tell you, but I was afraid. I did not want to lose your trust." I felt confused. I loved Samuel, but I also felt hurt. How could I trust someone who kept secrets? I wanted to believe he was changing, but I needed honesty. Without honesty, love cannot grow. I told Samuel, if we want to be together, we must be honest. No more hiding things. Samuel looked at me with sad eyes and said, "You are right, Lisa. I will be honest from now on." We both knew that trust is not easy to build. It takes time and effort. Even though I was scared, I wanted to give Samuel a chance. Love is not always perfect. Sometimes it means forgiving and trying again. I decided to be patient. I hoped Samuel would show me the real man he could be. After everything that happened, I had to make a big choice. Could I forgive Samuel? Could I trust him again? I thought a lot about our time together, the good moments and the hard ones. I remembered how happy he made me feel, and how much I cared for him. One evening, I sat with Samuel in the quiet bookshop after closing time. The lights were soft, and the air was still. I looked at him and said, "Samuel, I want to believe in you, but you must promise me one thing. You must always be honest with me. No more secrets." Samuel took my hands in his and looked into my eyes. "Lisa, I promise. I will change. I want to be a better man. For you." Hearing those words made me feel hopeful. I wanted to trust him, to believe he could really change. We decided to start again, to build our love on truth and trust. But I knew it would not be easy. Change takes time. Sometimes we would have to be patient with each other. There were moments when I was scared that Samuel might go back to his old ways. But love is not perfect. Love means choosing to trust someone, even when it's hard. It means forgiving mistakes and helping each other grow. I fell in love with a thief. It was a strange and difficult love. But I chose to see the good in Samuel, to believe in his heart. Maybe with time he would become the man I hoped for. And maybe our love would be stronger because we faced the hard truths together. What do you think about my story? I hope you enjoyed listening to it. If you liked this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me a lot. And if you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to ask me in the comments. I would love to hear from you.